So my first charge I went to Bankshield Detention Centre for is I went into a service station and shot at someone with a handgun when I was 16.
Evasion?
No, pretty much. There were a couple. Before that was sort of shops.
Yeah, like armed robberies and stuff like that, and you got caught. And you did time for these, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
So the shops. We don't want to talk about any crimes that you didn't get caught for. So we're here. We're not here to get anybody else. Like, just talk about the crimes that you got caught for, and
yeah. Shops were shut. Old clothes shops, whatever, and are easy to get into. Needed money.
So what did you steal the clothes or did you steal the money or did you go for the
both?
Oh yeah, so you went for the Quinella, the exacta, the exacta, yeah. And so yeah, how did you get into these places?
I suppose anybody else would, I guess.
Yeah, everyone. Wow.
Use keys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so hold on. You got a hold of some keys.
No, I didn't get a hold of keys.
Oh, tell us, man. We're here to entertain people. People want to know, like. So let's just say, well, you're definitely not normal, and I'm not far off. You know. So like, how do not normal people figure out how to get into places when they are shut to relieve them of their merchandise and cash?
I think a lot of it was smashed windows and snap straps.
Snatch. Okay. So a lot of these people a lot of this, the people that will listen to this is going to be in America. What's a snatch strap?
Snap strap's like it's sort of like a strap that you use to drag four-wheel drives out that are bogged and stuff like that. It's like a thick sort of nylon, like a flat bit of what would you call it? Fabric or something?
Yeah, we call it a toe strap. Like in America,
yeah,
it'd be
toe
like a
strap or whatever. Yeah.
So all right, so I know how it works here. So pretty much, I don't know if this is what you did, but like a lot of people here, they back up into a store and attach the snatch straps and then like drive forward and essentially just pull a wall down or pull an ATM out and go for broke.
Cool. Pull whatever you wanted out. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then you just go for broke, and usually the car's stolen and ends up getting. I don't know if that was your case, but this is typically what happens in the car ends up getting burned somewhere out in the bush.
Hypothetically speaking, yeah.
So all right. So how much time did you do on the burglary charges and
I think for one I got first burglary or something. I think it was like 12 months or just over 12 months or something.
Yeah.
I was sort of lower end of the scale. A few after that, there was driving charges and riding dirt bikes and stuff like that, getting chased on dirt bikes. And
so a lot of them were chases, like you just ran from the cops. Yeah.
A lot of them were sort of smaller charges and stuff like that. There was one where I went around to a house that apparently owed somebody that I was there. Who took me around the house, apparently owed him some money and stuff like that, and altercation took place, and we tried stuff all to do with. I ended up getting charged for that. I ended up with 5 years over that just because I kept my mouth shut and didn't say anything. So.
Yeah, well, and we know that, like, there's no questioning your loyalty, and I mean, like, Clark is definitely no snitch. I mean, you've done your time. Like, you're the opposite of snitch, man. You're like, who has the balls like to break their mate out of prison? We're gonna get to this, but like, I'm still just like. There was a couple of escapees in there, but I think you're the only person that actually went, and we'll get to this. So hold on. We're going to tease you guys for a little bit. Just wait. And you're going to find out what a nut this guy was and is recovering from. He's doing good. But talk about loyalty, man. If you're in the trenches of a war, you want this guy standing next to you. He's the kind of guy that's not going anywhere. So, anyway, he's entertaining to say the least. Completely sane, by the way. So, all right. So you got a 5-year sentence for something you had nothing to do with, and actually, it's a lot of these charges, man. Like, so it's weird how like the criminal world works. So, let's just say hypothetically, I've given you I'm giving some guy like some drugs, and he's like, "Oh, please, front it to me, and I'll pay you, in a certain amount of time, yada yada." And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Well, I was gonna pay you, but this guy didn't pay me, and this goes on forever." And what you did is essentially try to help him to get his money. You don't get paid, and then you have to go over there several times and be like, "Hey, you know what? I have people to pay also. I take your." And so you give him a slap upside his head at his house, or you beat his ass like he should have, and you end up getting big time for it. It's like you try to do somebody a favor. I get it is the criminal world, but let's face it, everybody does drugs. Like I'm telling you right now, when I was selling cocaine, I was selling it to doctors, to lawyers, to businessmen, you name it, the who's who, the what's what, TV personalities. There was nobody that wasn't doing cocaine. Nobody. I'm telling you right now, if you weren't doing cocaine, you were against the norm. There's cops that do it. And half of the people that were sentencing me, when I was getting sentenced, I was just like looking down the line. I was like, who haven't I given cocaine to in this room? Mine as a judge, but anyway. So when everybody goes to judge somebody that's been on drug charges or anything like that, or charges that have to do with like drugs, I'm not buying it, because go hang out with them on a Saturday night and see what they're doing. So anyway, so you've gone to this guy's house. Did somebody get smacked up?
I think so, yeah.
What do you mean you think so? Yeah, you've already been charged for it.
Yeah, well,
you've been charged for it, being convicted.
That's not what that happened. But the person had said, because they went for fucking criminal compensation, they said that they got bashed, but they didn't get bashed.
Oh, so they
so they talk shit.
Yes, okay. So they actually didn't get bashed.
They didn't get bashed, no.
So, but did they get a slap upside the head? Nothing?
No, nothing. No, it was just an argument. That was it.
And how long did you get for this?
I got 5 years.
Because they said, what were your charges?
Robbery and what was it? Possession of weapon or something, and intent to cause fear.
Yeah,
with a weapon or some bullshit.
So what? So the guy didn't pay. You went over there, you argued with him. Then he calls the cops on you guys.
Yeah, and says that we fucking robbed him and bashed him and fucking this and that after we left the house.
Yeah, and none of this happened.
None of it happened, no.
Yeah, well, yeah. Funny thing is, everybody's innocent in prison, but...
And then he goes for criminal compensation and probably gets 30 grand or something over an argument.
Yeah. Well...
yeah. Who's the criminal?
Yeah, exactly. Like, wow, okay. Yeah, and it's just something we've got, like... how many times have you seen... How many guys are sitting in jail because they've tried to help somebody, and they've given them money in advance, and guys just don't pay them. Yeah. And when they go pay them, then the people some people end up dead, but like most of the time they just took an ass whooping.
Yep.
And then so they've taken the guy's good intentions, even though it's through crime, played him like a fool, made him come back too many times asking for his money, copped to hiding, and then called the cops on him, and then the cops come and arrest you for helping this guy and send you to prison. Like, there's something wrong with the legal system. I think, ass whippings should be allowed to be handed out if they're deserved. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to be in fear of going to jail if, somebody come over and they're yelling at your 5-year-old daughter in the front yard, and man's yelling at her, doing this and that, and you go out and whoop his ass to a coma. Well, that's what he gets. That's how it should be. You shouldn't get charged for that. Yeah. So, all right. So you got a 5-year sentence on that. State charge. I don't know, because I know they've gone through different sentencing. Like you used to have to do a third at one point.
That was under the old act. Yeah. So this was just, I had to do 3 years and then 2 years on parole.
Yeah. So, but the new act, the one that I was, you have to do, doesn't matter what your sentence is. You can get out on 2 years on parole. So like if you get 7, you do 5. Yeah. If you get 5, you do 3. Yeah. So what, you got 5 and did 3?
Yep.
Okay. And you get out from there. Did you get out on parole? Did they give you parole?
Yeah, I got out on parole, yeah.
All right. And did you go back into prison before this final time?
Yes, I was out on bail out on parole for 1.5 years. The parole officer that I had at the time, I had an appointment. My partner was pregnant, had a hospital appointment. And I said, look, is it all right if I go to the hospital appointment with my partner, blah, blah, blah. I'll bring all the evidence, the paperwork and stuff to show that I was at the hospital and it's a legitimate appointment. And she's like, oh, yeah, no worries, just go to the appointment, it's okay. And I rang her up over the phone. And then I went to sign in next week. And then I've rolled in there and I've been called into the office with her and the boss. I'm like, well, what's going on here? She goes, oh, you missed your appointment.
Yeah.
I said, how did I miss my appointment? She goes, you were supposed to be in here last week. I said, now look, I said, I'm not being a fucking smart ass or anything. I said, but I rang you up last week. I said, and I looked at the boss and I said, oh, are these phones recorded? She goes, yes, they are. So I've pulled my phone out and I said, last week, this date, blah, 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 this time, look, see.
They don't like to be proved wrong.
And I showed the boss the phone and I said, now, can you please check that phone call? I said, because I asked her for permission. She gave me permission. I said, and here's the paperwork to show that I was at the appointment with my partner. So she's going, all right, then just settle down, Stephen, blah, blah, blah. We'll go suss it out. So she's gone in there and she's come back. She goes, look, I apologise. She goes, you're in the right. She goes, you're free to leave. And she goes, I'll speak to her.
Yeah. So
after that, she had a hard on for me.
Yeah.
So then she reckons that I went in there and she could smell alcohol on my breath.
Yeah.
And I said, if you can smell alcohol on my breath, I said, can you please get a breathalyzer and breathalyze me? I said, because I didn't blow a reading. She goes, oh, no, don't worry about it. She's done a report on me and breached my parole. I'd do my last 6 months in prison.
Yeah. So you went back.
I done 6 months for nothing.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, and I know there's a lot of like, look, there's a lot of power trippers in there and they don't like to be showed up, especially like guards and stuff. I mean, I had my own instance. Like one time I was played, so the Comancheros had their own wing and like, who wants to go play with the Comancheros? And I knew the guys, so I went and played basketball with them. And you play shirts and skins basketball and you can't be inside the unit. You can't be inside the unit, without a shirt. You got to go back in, as you know. So anyway, we're playing. Anyway, at the end of the game, I'm sweating. I can't find my shirt. And we're in Unit 7, the disbursement unit, still waiting to see like where we were going to go or whatever. And they're like, there's a guard at the door, and I was like, hey, look, there's no shirts on the court. Somebody's grabbed my shirt. I've got to come in with no shirt. So I go in there, and then of course it's always the women that power trip too. It's like it's talk about they should not have women guards. Literally, they shouldn't. I mean, some of them okay, but most of them overreact. Do they not always overreact and power trip? I mean, they shouldn't have women guards, especially at a male facility, unless they're going to give it up like a couple of them have. But so anyway, she's like, Stuart, what are you doing with your shirt off? And I said, well, somebody took my shirt, and I've told the guard at the front. She's like, get your shirt on. I said, I don't have a shirt. Somebody's taking my shirt. Are you talking back to me? I said, no, I'm not talking back to you, but I've already checked in with the guard at the front. I'm in there. I come out of the shower. She's like, pack your shit. You're going to Unit 3. Tell them what Unit 3 is like in Hakia.
It's like the Bronx, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so they call it the Bronx because for doing absolutely nothing, checking in with the guards. She took me in front of this. So I said, oh, I'll file, I'm gonna talk to the SO. And this SO, man, hey, SO Stone, you're a flop, okay? You told me you've met punks like me forever. I go, first of all, I'd be ashamed to be your parents. I mean, you're a genetic defunct. I mean, you're bone skinny. Told me you've been dealing like idiots with me for your whole life and that you would whoop my ass. I would snap you in half and I'll eat your whole entire body. So like, this is what these guys do. And then I was trying to tell him what happens, and he's like, I've heard from you. I've heard about idiots like you, and he sticks me like literally in the mental ward because I literally was close to the mental ward with all the guy at 5150s, which means criminally insane.
Maybe you figured out you actually do have problems.
maybe he was onto something.
Yeah, I reckon. He uncovered the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah. So anyway, he put me in there like on a pure power trip because I complained, and I'm like, I mean, how is that even how does that even happen? Because I'm a pretty docile person. Like, I get like I'll stand my ground, but nobody's ever gonna have a problem with me that doesn't have a problem, But so I end up going 4 months into the Bronx, like people pulling like knives on me, like they're trying to mob me, like and it's not like in the States where they segregate you by race.
Right.
I was like one of two American prisoners in all of Western Australian prison. I didn't know. Did you know any other ones?
Long grass.
Long grass. Oh, come on, man. Long grass. Okay. There was one guy that somehow taught himself the American accent, but has actually never been to America. Yeah. So there's long grass. I can't even believe you just brought that dude up, man.
Duncan, wasn't he?
Yeah, poor bastard. He's one of those dudes that's like, he's like, I just wanted a Chevy Suburban, so I decided to fly over there and pick up a couple kilos of cocaine that I didn't know about, but they were going to buy me one of them Chevy Suburbans to drive around. I was like, he's like, but I'm completely innocent. I was like, wait a minute, you went over and picked up the kilos of cocaine for a Chevy Suburban and you're innocent. They're like, okay, like, I understand. I agree. You're innocent. Whatever. But other than that, there was Jason, the one that got caught with $1.8 billion worth of, he never got caught with it, but his co-complainant, what is it? Co-plainants? They $1.8 billion worth. Was it 1.8? 1.2 billion, whatever it was. Yeah, so and we actually, were you cellmates with Frenchie?
No, not Frenchie, no.
So me and you were cellmates next to him.
Yeah.
What was that joke? What was the joke that you told me that it was so...
What about Jack? And
he never...
No, but that wasn't Frenchie. That was Kiana.
No, because Frenchie kept cracking up at it, but he never understood it.
I know. And I was like, hey, Uncle-y, if you and Jack went horse riding together and you got stuck on the horse and he helped you off the horse, a week later he's went out horse riding again, only this time Jack got stuck on, would you help him off? He's like, yeah, of course I helped Jack off the horse. You don't know how many times I've heard this joke, right? Clarky finds one funny thing and it goes forever. Now I'm going to have to listen to it again for the next 10 years probably. So, all right. So anyway, we'll get back to the prison guard, the parole officer, probation officer violates you last 6 months in prison. Where did they send you? Hakia? Did you do your whole time in Hakia, or were you able to go to a different place? No, it was sort of went to Hakia at the start and then transferred straight to Acacia, I think.
Yeah. So for you guys out there, there's a few prisons. Like Hakia is the main. It's the intake remand prison, but it's like a max, super max. They have high security escorts, which Clarky was on, meaning like you can't leave your cell without guards on you and handcuffs. Then you go through your IMP where they show you how like they see if you've been a good boy or a bad boy or whatever like that, and then and they reduce points, and then you go down to medium. So the maximum security prison here is Hakia. Then medium security, well, they've got another maximum security prison called Casuarina. That's probably that's the biggest one in Western Australia, right?
Yep.
And how much time have you done in Casuarina?
I had a life ban there, so for this charge.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, let's get into this charge. Let's get into this charge. So we've been around the bush. So Clarky has this friend named Jonathan Sedman. Jonathan Sedman was in Casuarina.
Yep.
Jonathan Sedman. So let's not talk about just how did you and Sedman were friends from what? Because he was a lifetime criminal. He's been like I've looked up his stories, and if you guys want to see these articles, they'll be in the description. Just look down below, click, and you can see whatever news articles have come up. There's some videos and stuff like that. They're quite interesting. So, and one of those videos says Sedman had been, a violent armed robber, and he's been in and out of prison forever. So I'm assuming you met him in one of your custodial stays.
In prison, yeah.
Yeah. Where did you meet him in the juveniles or in the adults?
No, I was in Acacia, adults. Yeah.
And were you guys cellmates?
One stage, yeah.
Yep. So was this when you were? Is this when you actually got? So did you meet him when you were violated? When that probation lady
I was
violated?
before that, I think. Yeah.
So you'd been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And you had done time with him, obviously, years.
Yeah, a bit of time here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then you got out and you were still mates.
Yeah.
And he was out with you also.
No, he was inside.
He was still inside.
Yeah, he was still inside. So then he did get out, and then we caught up briefly. He was only out for a short period of time. I think he was out for 5 months or 6 months or something. He fucked up and went back for more stick up. So
No, just stay closer to the mic because you could coming in and out, like at least for my sound, so just make sure it sounds.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So he was. Go ahead. So he's out for 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, he was out for 5 or 6 months or something, and he ended up going back in.
Yeah, and then and what did he go in for?
I think more stick ups or something.
More stick ups. Another misunderstanding. He wouldn't ask people for money, and they misunderstood if they didn't give it, that violence could happen. Mitch is going to be on our blind speaker. Mitch is also a character, but of the reason that Mitch is a good addition to it because he's not a criminal. He's this poor guy, man. He's actually helped facilitate us with he's given us the office space for this podcast and stuff like that. So he's such a good guy that has been I would like to say I'm sorry for bringing all these weirdos around, but I know he's purely entertained by it. And Mitch is quite intelligent, so he has a lot to say about a lot of things. Anyway, so he's just joined us, but we're going to continue on. So this Sedman, he's your mate. You did time with him. He got out for 5-6 months, goes back in for an armed robbery.
Yep.
Okay, walk us through now what has happened. Walk us through now what took you in for your last stint and how this.
I was pretty sort of. At the time, I sort of got caught up in something I didn't really know nothing about.
Okay. You've been convicted of it now. So
yeah, I know
so
that.
what was it that you got caught up in that you didn't know anything?
It wasn't premeditated on my behalf. Like I didn't know really what was going on until I was there.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I seen him get pushed in front of the car in a wheelchair across the road from the hospital, I sort of put 2 and 2 together.
What do you mean? Okay, look. Don't bullshit me.
I'm being serious. I've been charged for it already. Who cares? You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck off. So you're telling me you're just sitting across you're just sitting. Okay, first of all, you live an hour from that hospital. You live an hour from that hospital, and you're just sitting in the car, and you happen to see your old cellmate come out in a wheelchair.
No. He told me to go there to meet somebody, right?
How did he tell you that?
It was over the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
He said, can you go there and meet somebody, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, no worries. I said, I'm touring from Kalgoorlie. I said, so make sure they're fucking, because I've got to leave for Kalgoorlie, I don't know, whatever time. that day, I had to go to Kalgoorlie. I was running late already.
Yeah.
And it worked out. Apparently, I was supposed to go there to fucking pick up a gold diamond necklace for his missus or something off somebody.
Because you had his missus there in the car.
And no, she wasn't there, no. And then I said to him, I said, well, look, I said, I've got some jewellery at home. I said, do you want me to give her something? I've got some stuff at home or whatever. And he's like, no, I've sorted out with these people, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right. And so I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
And me then living the life that I was living and him knowing that I was getting around with a gun on me and all the rest of the bullshit, sort of thrown me in there without me knowing really what was going on. No, I'm telling you the truth. I mean, if I'd done the crime, I'd tell you.
You did do the crime. There's no doubt you did the crime.
I did do the crime, but I'm saying if it was premeditated, I'd say it was premeditated. For fuck's sake, I was in there in a legit car. Don't you think I would have at least taken a stolen car there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or at least covered up the plates. Come on.
Well, no doubt. So anyway, so you've taken a diamond necklace to see some girl. And
I was supposed to pick up something from a chick to give to his missus for Christmas.
Okay.
Because it was in November, so it was close to Christmas.
And he just happened to be on a prison transfer at this time.
Yeah, he had organised it, obviously, without me knowing what the fuck was going on.
And he just assumed that you would do what you did or what?
I think he was trying to push I don't think he wanted to give me too much thought into...
He knew that you would react.
he would have thought maybe I would have overthought it and just gone, nah, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? But he thought maybe if he had me out there not knowing what was going on, I might make that.
I don't know, Clarky. I love you, buddy, but I'm having a hard time. So what happens is he's broken his. He sees his mate getting pushed out, put from the hospital back into the transport unit, and he sees him just because he was supposed to give a diamond necklace to some girl that was going to be there. Somehow he comes out.
I was supposed to get that off somebody else. I was supposed to pick up a Christmas present for his missus.
Right. But, yeah, and he just happened to be. And I
was in a car park across the road from the hospital where they don't transport prisoners from.
How did you see him get it? Man, I've been on these transports.
They pushed him in front of the car, for fuck's sake. I'm being serious.
It's okay.
This a fucking dumbass.
No, bro. Come on, man. All right, so you accidentally see your friend getting whipped. All right, let's get back to it. Let's be serious here. So you accidentally see your friend in a wheelchair, and you just happen to have.
I don't accidentally see him. I seen him.
But did you?
It's not like I wasn't trying to look at him, and then I seen him.
Yeah, but you live an hour away, and
there were phone calls, me ringing this chick up saying, "Where the fuck is this person that I'm supposed to be meeting?" I said, "Tell them I'm wearing these shorts, this shirt, and I'm standing next to a fucking white Commodore."
Well,
why would I tell this chick that if I was there to break out my mate and I know what he looked like? Why would I give her my description for?
I don't know that you did this or not, but all I know is that every time I got sent to the hospital, like I dislocated my knee.
Yeah.
And 14 months later, 2 prisons later, they picked me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like, Stuart, we're out of here. They don't tell you when you're leaving, man. So you had to have some sort of information this dude was going to be there. Your good mate, who you're getting a diamond necklace for, and you just accidentally had a sawed-off shotgun?
I don't know. There's honestly, like, how hard is it to leave a message to somebody to ring this person and tell this person to ring this person if I'm not here in the morning?
Well, no, it's simple.
Well, there you go.
Like, it's easy. I could, like, if I saw you leave in the morning and I'm in a cell next to you, I could easily call a mutual mate and say, hey, somebody's on transport. Yeah, and then they could react.
Yeah, can you ring Clarky and fucking tell Clarky that fucking such and such isn't there on the fucking thing or whatever, or pass some message over or whatever the case may be.
All right.
Like, there's other ways around it.
All right, so
it's not as if he had a mobile phone in his pocket and he rang me up and he's like, oh yeah, I'm on a transfer today, mate. Like, can you meet me at the hospital?
Well, you guys could have had it planned. You could have had it planned, and you could have had it planned, and then somebody in the unit that knew he left.
If it would have been planned, there would have been balaclavas, there would have been a stolen car, or at least dodgy plates. There would.
Well, I've listened to the news reports because I've only been, and it definitely wasn't sophisticated, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Anyway,
it was brazen.
It was brazen. Yeah. Hey, but balls, bro. I don't know how you walk because, like, I mean, you got massive balls, bro. Like, you literally, like. You see your mate in his wheelchair. Then what happens? You pop out of the car.
No, I don't know. I think there was a lot of fatigue because I was trying to get away from all the other shit and I was trying to focus on a gold business up in Kalgoorlie, and I was torn from Kalgoorlie all the time, and my missus was pregnant. I was arguing with my missus. Finances were shit. There was a lot of stress and fatigue going on.
Were you under the influence? Were you on the meth?
No, I wasn't, no. I'd given that up before, like probably 3-4 months before. But I think it was just that stress and fatigue, just the build-up of that, which made me make that impulsive decision.
Yeah.
Because if there wasn't that stress and fatigue there, like, I don't suffer stress and fatigue now because that opened up my eyes heaps.
Right.
Because I know exactly how it unfolded and where I was and how I felt that day and what I knew and what I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, now since I've been out of prison, like stress and fatigue, I try to keep that shit out of my life and I don't have issues.
Right.
I have people ask me to do dumb shit all the time. I tell them to fuck off. You know what I mean? But if you gave me 2 weeks of stress and no sleep, I probably would do this dumb shit because I'd be like a fucking zombie.
Well, you're giving me all kinds of bad ideas because I need a large loan. No, I'm just kidding. But that's a joke, officers. I'm kidding. Anyway, so all right, you see him now. Let's get into the detail. You see your mate. He's coming out of the hospital in a wheelchair,
Yeah.
2 guards?
Yeah, it was 2 guards, yeah.
What happens next?
I just jumped out the car and I said, oh, he's let my mate go. And they're like, nah.
What do you... Can you kindly release my mate?
Well, you got to be polite. No, well, I said to him,
Well,
I said, and they're like, no. I said, well, look, I said, listen here. I said, my buddy's coming home with me today. And they're like, no, he isn't. He's a prisoner. I said, look, I said, do you have a family? They said, yes. I said, well, I have a family too. I said, do you want to wake up tomorrow and see your kids? They said, yes. I said, well, so do I. I said, so don't fuck around. Come on, let's go. Pass me my mate. And they're like, oh, no, we can't.
Yep.
And anyway, there was a big sort of, I don't know, it was an Islander fella. He was like 7 foot tall. Like, he was a big boy.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the gun. He's looking at me. I said, fuck, like, what are you doing? Like, don't even think about it sort of thing. You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, looking at the gun, looking at me, and he's like, no, it's all right, you know. And then in slow motion, he's taken a step forward, but then he's frozen halfway and he's gone to grab the gun. And then it was just a natural reaction to sort of hit him in the side of the head with a gun.
Yeah, well, you hit him with the butt of the shotgun.
The barrel.
The barrel. Oh, you hit him in the barrel?
The barrel in the ear, yeah.
Fuck, you're lucky it didn't go off. He's lucky it didn't go off.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. You're exactly right. Like, I don't know how... Everybody, you want to be the hero, but like, man, a bullet comes pretty fast. You know what I mean? Like, if you hit him like that and you were able to not pull that trigger, you guys are both very like. You ripped his ear off, didn't you? Or ripped off half his ear or something?
Yeah, half his ear or something.
Yeah. So all right. So this has happened. So he's obviously shackled because every time I went there, I was shackled. Did you say now unshackle him?
No, so he's grabbed the keys off him.
Yeah.
My Kobe had grabbed the keys off him and then sort of undone the handcuffs and shit like that. And
Did he take the handcuffs with him or he undid them at the spot?
I think he took most of them off. He did have some on him.
Yeah.
I was still in the car and he took them off in the car, yeah.
Yeah. And what were the guards doing? Like, I mean, so you've smacked this 7 foot guard, Islander boys. And the Islander boys are tough, man. So you've halfway ripped off his ear, pointed a sawed off shotgun at these guys. Yeah. Politely asked him, can you please let my friend go home? And they said no. So that was very nice of you, by the way, Clarky. So they've said no. You've got him out now. You're getting away.
Yep.
You're in the car. Wait, you guys get in the car? So there was a girl with you. Who was this girl? Because it was in the news.
Yeah. She was just a female friend.
As a female. Did she get charged? Did she have charges?
She get charged, yeah.
Did she do time?
Yeah, she done time.
So anyway, you guys get away in your car with your plates.
Not my car, her car.
Her car with the plates. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And how long did you get away for?
It was probably about 4 hours or something.
4 hours.
And they got us because we'd shut down the phones and stuff like that, and then caught up with his missus after. Shut her phone down. We'd gone to another address, so there shouldn't be no GPS. She had then borrowed the person whose house we were at's phone and logged onto her Facebook.
Oh, no.
To warn her sister or whatever of something bullshit she would have got a fine for anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing real major. I mean, and she's gone and done that, and then they got a GPS on us.
Yeah, so Sedman's girlfriend, after you, like just a couple hours after you've broken him out of prison, logs into Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, do you guys?
It's like a normal thing, you know.
Like you guys, you were home free. You were home free, but like I just can't believe the sophistication of this prison break, man. Like, and man, so like you were home free. That's it. You were gone. Like, like there was. I watched the newsreel. There's like, he goes, it was a guy and a girl, they were having a big laugh as they drove off. Like, you guys, I mean, it would have been an adrenaline rush. I mean, no doubt about it. So, so anyway, you get caught 4 hours later. Now you know you're in the shit. How long did you get?
8 years.
8 years. How long? So, and Sedman was already in there on an armed robbery.
Yeah.
He got, how long was he doing on the armed robbery?
I don't know. Whatever he had left just got put on top. So he got 8 years, the same as me.
Yeah, so he's still in, huh?
I'm not sure. I think so,
Yeah, so you guys, I mean, we're in the same unit. You guys didn't even talk. Like, we're there. You guys had a falling out. So what happened? So, all right, they take you in. they give you 8 years. They put you on high security escorts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long were you on that for?
For a while. So I was pretty much shackled everywhere I had to go.
Yeah.
Ankles, feet, legs.
Yeah. And then, thank you, Western Australia. What is it? Department of Corrections for putting Clarkie as my cellmate. So he was my cellmate. I'm like, I'm a storyteller. And I was like, this is a good story. I mean, we're sitting there playing chess with Anton Decente, who was the captain of the boat that crashed with $1.2 billion worth of every drug on the planet. And we're sitting there and we're playing chess with him every day, and he doesn't get the joke about it. I know you say it's Keaton, but it was him, and like he kept cracking up, and I was like, "Do you get it? What it means?" He goes, "No, I don't get it," but we just kept laughing about it. He goes, "If your friend Jack was on the horse, Mitch, would you help Jack off the horse?" Of course. Mitch would definitely help him off. So this is and Anton. He spoke about, I don't know, Russian, French, Spanish, English. He played chess. He was the best chess player in Hakia. We got to get Mitch a microphone. So anyway, me and Clarkie started doing art together, and yeah, we had a reasonable time. Like as you know, like I was a funny fucker, and some people just didn't get my jokes. But I didn't joke. I didn't play around.
That little 4-foot midget that tried fighting you near the pool table.
Yeah.
He's like, what? You want to have a crack or what, brother? He's on his tippy toes looking up.
I said, go practice falling down and I'll be there in a minute. He's like, he comes like, I love you, Uncle. I'm like, okay, cool, man. So anyway, yeah, I ended up getting stabbed. I ended up getting stabbed in the face. I mean, I still think it was just a misunderstanding, but yeah, we get it. But yeah, we had a few scraps. But like prison, it wasn't the worst place in the world, was it? So like walking. So you started your art.
Yeah.
We were talking before with Mitch, and me and Mitch were both very, very impressed. I was like, you started your art in prison, right? What did he say, Mitch? Where did he start tell us where he started his art? Do you remember?
Well, I do, because it started from street art and more specifically railway art, graffiti style.
Sort of carry on, eh?
Yeah. So I'm like, how do you call it art if the train is moving? You just sit there with.
Well, it's a moving canvas. It's a moving canvas.
It's all like fade down.
You don't do them when they're moving. You do them when they stop.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You got to be specific with me, man. Like, anyway. So, yeah.
So just on that, did you get into that from sort of a young age? Was that someone drew you to, if you excuse the pun, to tagging and drawing trains?
Yeah, it was pretty much just boredom, really. We'll just get on the piss and be creative and try to scrape together some money for spray cans and.
Yeah, but he's actually an excellent artist now. You've done some murals.
Yep.
You've done you did a fine arts your university degree in prison. They wouldn't let me into it. Apparently, you had to pass an IQ test, and I just couldn't get there. Yeah, they wouldn't let me in that class. But yeah, just lean back, and let's show some of your. Just show a couple of them here. Like he's sitting right behind him. Can you see him? Hold on, 1 second. Let me get them.
This one here still shows a strong.
Grab another one you want on there, Clarkie.
What's that?
Grab another one of your paintings that you want. You want to showcase?
And that one too. I mean, that's pure tagging, isn't it?
I mean, that was some of the biggest
Hold
graffiti
on.
artists in prison at that time, and it's near on impossible to get all those artists inside prison at the same time.
So it's actually like a
We'll talk about it in a second.
it's like an autograph book on canvas.
There we go. There's another one.
I reckon I think that's very cool.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll have pictures of all these up on the website, but yeah, he's brought some in. He's actually done some exceptional pieces. I've seen them myself. He did one of Ned Kelly that was just unbelievable. He did all the murals in the prison. He did with Danny Green and a few other people. Yeah, show him this last one, and then we'll sit down and talk about it. Yeah, so these are some of the ones that, like, just his shading and his, his light sourcing is good. But yeah, we'll have to sit sorry, we're not the most sophisticated people in the world, so we have to show you. Have a seat, Clarky. We have to show you how we can, but yeah, we always want to promote fighters, not fighters, well, fighters also, but people that are now trying to do something good with their life. Anyway, so we'll put that back on Clark. I'll come back and then we'll talk about what he's doing. No, put your headphones on. All right. So Clark has now got a fine arts degree. He's got a fine arts degree, and I would also call him somewhat. He's kind of an obsessive person. Like he's a straight. You want him as a mate, but he's obsessive. You're obsessed with the art. I mean, I didn't even know what color you were in prison because all I could see was paint. I just like paint. And so you've done your fine art degree. You've been commissioned to do some pieces. Where can people find you? Or do you have a website, or is there a way to contact you, like if they want a piece of art, or is that something we'll add as we go?
So I do have a Facebook.
Get that microphone close to me. Yep.
I do have a Facebook page. It's called Cypher Perth. SYPHERPERTH. And it's cover photos is done on paper. It's Alice in Wonderland sort of pulling open the curtain, revealing like a tag or a piece on a brick wall that says Cypher, and then there's a little door down the bottom, which obviously was a old classic picture of Alice in Wonderland. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen it. I mean, like the murals you did, he was like, the ones you did in prison were like excellent.
So reference to Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, down the rabbit hole.
See, this is what I'm talking about. He gets the things I don't get. Like
I don't get it.
Yeah, but it's your art. Me and you were both in the dark. That's how smart Mitch is. So you did all these murals. You got your fine arts degree. You've done murals. You're doing painting. You're selling your paintings. You're doing commission arts.
Yep.
But let's talk about this other obsession and the reason that we've brought in Mitch, because Mitch is just like the all-around fact-checking genius. Like this guy, I mean, you could talk about specific snail types in France and the best ones to eat, and he'll have some sort of information on it. Like the guy is, I don't know. He's like, he might be AI just walking around. He's like walking Google.
He's a bot, eh?
Yeah. Anyway, so now tell us what you. So you go down to Kalgoorlie, and they have. Tell us about Kalgoorlie. What you do? What do you do in Kalgoorlie?
Yeah, so Kalgoorlie are on a small scale gold mining lease, which sort of just involves crushing down ore. We get ore. We sort of go hand pick our ore, which is sort of rich concentrates of gold. We'll crush that down in cement mixers with milling balls and stuff like that. And then we'll just run it through a sluice or something, or pan it out. Yeah.
So, hey, does he check out Mitch? Because he was telling you about his processes. And then listen, I was his cellmate. I was like, we used to. I'd be trying to sleep, and he's like, "And there's, you ever seen Sling Blade?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, there's gold in them hills." He goes, "There's blue." Oh, that's Bubba Gump. He's like, "There's blueberry gold, blackberry gold, gold in the Kalamunda, gold in the rivers, gold in the mountains, gold in the ponds, gold in the oceans." I'm like, "God, please send me to solitary confinement." So we're talking to Mitch. Mitch, who was it you were talking about? Get that microphone close to your mouth.
All right. So close family member uncle was obsessed with gold.
Yep.
He, as I was saying before, he started Prospector's Patch.
Yep.
Got onto the first new generation metal detectors
Yeah.
and made plenty of money out of those.
Yeah.
But he was obsessed with actually finding gold.
Yeah.
Couldn't, but just had that bug. And, you know, it's obviously something that people with perhaps excessive compulsive,
Clarkism.
Just get that bug and just need and get driven to want to find it.
I guess it's the excitement on some senses. I mean, you know you're going to find it sooner or later because you're switched on and you sort of understand how to find it. I mean, you can go like a week or 2 weeks out in like 45-degree heat, sweating. I mean, you're out in the desert, it's windy, your eyes are going all claggy, and it's just putrid conditions.
Don't make it sound so exciting,
No, but
Clarky.
listen, like, honestly, and you're miles from civilization, you don't have reception, and you're just out
From the
there.
sounds of it, this is a perfect job for you.
But that's the thing, you know. You've got that gold fever. You've got that obsession to find gold. You know, if I was out there, you know, I'd be looking for gold, and then something would shine, and I think I'm on platinum, and then I'll be looking for diamonts, and you know, the ADHD kicks in, and I'm, you know, before you know it, you know, I'm a million miles of what I'm doing. No focus.
The Grady syndrome.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, there's something shiny or better, you know, within 5 minutes, and I'm away. So you've obviously got to have that focus to be able to make a quid out of it.
Oh, that's it. I mean, it does pay sooner or later. It's just, and I think that thing that sort of keeps you out there as well is that you can spend a week or 2 weeks out there and find nothing, and then just bang, within like 2 hours you've cleaned up 15 grand or something.
Yeah.
So you just go from rags to riches in a click of a finger, you know, and then it's just like, yeah.
Do you find just being out there though with just a sole focus? Do you find that it gives you a sense of a sense of freedom as well, a sense of just me looking for gold, nothing else to bother me?
Yeah, it does. Sort of clears the head. It's been good for me since I've been out of prison. It's only just been recently that I've been going up there. I've been nagging my mate flat out, saying, "Oh, is there any good spots? Yonder any good spots?" Nah, since February, and it's only happened a few months ago. And I mean, within that, we've found a bit, and I've managed to. We only had one car between me and my missus, so I've managed to buy another car and stuff like that. So
Try to keep that mic close to you because you keep going in and out of sound.
So yeah, it has been good financially,
So, hey,
but I have waited all year for it. So
hey, Clarky, give me that nugget. Let me see it.
no,
I mean, let me see it for the cameras, man. For fuck's sake, I already know. But I don't want to get.
don't go chewing any little bits off either. I'll be checking your teeth after.
Just a
Look
tip.
at it, so-
Don't play heads and tails
Right,
for
so
it.
this little thing right here is some of the gold he's found. Looks like a little stick of like Trident gum, but I assure you, it's a little bit harder. So I figured, hey, I asked Clark, I was like, hey, Clark, it's so small, can you just give it to me? He's like, no, I won't give it to you. I can't believe this thing, it was 1.6 ounces. This is, I mean, and how long did it take you to find this?
It's taken me all year to find a good spot or go onto a good spot.
Okay. So
I mean, that took us a day or something.
So you found, but yeah, like it's almost like going to the casino. Some days you have good days and you
that's
hit,
right.
and some days you don't.
Yeah.
I think I need to start gold prospecting.
So I mean, the best that we done. So we went up there for 4 days, and the best that we done was went up there for 4 days. First day, nothing. Second day, nothing. It was all sulfites, pyrites and stuff like that. And we're thinking, fuck. We just kept pumping these.
You know what he's talking about, Mitch? Is this checking out?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then
If he starts throwing in alluvial and
we're cooking off these pyrites to see if it's releasing any gold, but it wasn't throwing nothing at us. So we're just like, oh, what are we going to do, you know? And it wasn't until I was thinking, well, I'm going to go home empty-handed. This is my first trip up to Kalgoorlie. My missus is going to put me head on the chopping block. Like, I'm going to be stuffed here if I go back, me empty pockets. And I mean, we managed to we pulled more than 12 grand. I come back with 12K.
Who do you sell this to? Because like I had gold when I got out of like when I told you I have this, I actually knew what it was worth because I had gold when I got out of prison, and I went to the mint, and they prefer buying stuff for. So, but like when you have gold like this, who do you sell it to? Just like individual people.
Individual people. I mean,
And is there a way that you can just test the purity?
They do test the purity, and they'll sit there and they'll try and say, "Oh, look, it's got heavy metals in it in the middle," and you say, "Well, I've melted it down. Heavy metals are going to sink to the bottom.
So there's a whole.
They're not going to hide in the middle. So let's stop playing fucking turkey and just give me more money. It's 24 karat gold, you know."
And say, what's the purity of this? What's the purity of this?
That's, I don't know. That'd be 24 karat or close to 24 karat. Yeah.
And what is that? 99.9%.
No, that's so bullion's 999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what would this be?
So I think does it go from 75 to 999?
More like Dior.
Yeah. So
What's the deal? Okay, so this is the in-house Google.
Google? That there would probably be 22 karat.
What do you reckon this would be purity-wise?
About 80.
80% pure?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I guess you'd have to taste it to find that, wouldn't you?
I'm not an expert on that, but just going back to who buys it. So what is there sort of private gold dealers around or through the mint or?
We sort of stay away from the mint. It's just too much of a headache to sell it because, I mean, they DNA gold, but I mean, so you can have a lease here, but say 500 years ago there was a flood or something over here that washed gold from over here onto your lease.
South Africa.
And because they can DNA it, they go, oh, your gold's testing positive from this lease over here. That's not yours. And you're like, no, it's my lease. And then you've got to send geos out there and stuff like that, and they've got to inspect the ground and they've got to find gold themselves and test it. And meanwhile, you've got pending charges with the gold squad. Now, that's why people don't like...
So you can't steal gold?
No, well...
You can't really steal gold?
It's got its own DNA, yeah, that's right.
Really?
It does. Gold stealing squad's big.
There's a gold stealing squad? Are you for real?
Yeah, gold squad, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I could see that there would be that, but like they can test this gold's DNA
and to see where it come from, what area. Yeah, like within, I think, is it a square kilometre or something? I don't know how
within
accurate it is. Don't hold me to that, but it is pretty accurate.
Well, it's like blood diamond. That's why you can't sell blood diamonds because they know where they come from, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Absolutely. They can pick everything. So
it's got its own unique chain of impurities, which might be like 0.07% copper, 0.01% bloody.
So it's almost,
and it just goes on, and then that's how they make it up.
So this is almost like every piece of gold has its own ethnicity.
Yeah.
So this piece of gold probably speaks Bogan.
Redneck, eh?
Yeah, complete hillbilly. Is a complete hillbilly.
Drinking scotch and chewing tobacco. Eh?
The gold-eyed find would speak Spanish. And I guess Mitch's gold would probably smoke fine cigars.
So when you're at home, are you spending time sort of poring over maps and looking at topography and all that sort of thing, or is it more just seat of your pants? This feels good.
I used to spend a bit of time, and I didn't really go out there and follow it up, but I used to enjoy looking at maps and different terrains and layers and stuff like that to sort of find where low points were and valleys and stuff that had been washed down and higher points and to chase reefs and all that sort of stuff. But I never really got the time to actually go out there and chase what I'd been researching up. So, I mean, a lot of the work that we have been doing has just been leases that have been pegged on old mining leases. So we've just pretty much been going over old tailings and stuff like that.
Follow the money. Follow the old boys.
Yeah. So I had to tell you guys, last week I had probably the worst accident of my life. And if you want to donate to my GoFundMe, I'll set it up. But thank God this accident kind of happened because like Clarky used to tell me, he's like, we can pan for gold. We could suck it off the ground for gold. My big accident was I accidentally found out I'm old. So this was an accident you don't recover from. My kids. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna see. Hey, son, I'm in the middle. Hey, we're in the middle of a podcast right now. Well, and I'm glad that they actually like got to see like what we were doing. Yeah, so we're talking back to my big accident of finding out I'm old.
Right.
So, but I remember you talking about like, gold panning, sucking gold off the bottom of the floor from where was it? Canada? Remember, we were watching those guys that were sucking gold off the
like Bering Sea Gold, Alaska.
Yeah, and then the young kid that would yell at everybody that would scoop the gold and everything would always break and the trees would fall. And then we looked at the water. I'm telling you right now, I'm having an allergic reaction. I'm having PTSD. I'm putting in a criminal. What was that? What did you say? That criminal compensation for what you've done to me mentally. So do you know anything about gold prospecting, Mitch? Talk to us.
Well, I do. I know lots about everything, but you know, it's something that if I took up, I'd take it up. I'd go out, buy all the gear, GXL Land Cruiser, top of the line mine lab, detector, 6 dry blowers, dozer, you know, and then be bored by the time I drove it out there.
So Mitch had the same accident as me. It just didn't affect him as much as it did me. He found out he was old a long time before I did, about 45.
How rude! How rude!
So, but yeah, so.
But look, I years ago I did go to university and I did do some geology, and then of course you know you watch these shows that you know make it particularly attractive because they generally find something all the time. Yep. But you know, there's science, and then there's certainly other techniques as well. You know, so you know if you know I've had a fair bit to do, luckily, with a lot of the traditional owners around, and you know I've been out to some of these places.
All right, so let's touch on that real quick.
And they will actually say, you know, oh, if you see this particular ant nest near this particular tree. Yeah. You know, there's.
Hold on, let me stop. Let me just stop because a lot of these people are in America. So a traditional owner is Aboriginal. So the way that it works in Australia is there's certain tribes that own certain land rights to all these places, and the traditional owners have to give you permission. But they have a lot of these historic. What do they call them? Like historical sites that you can't touch. They have like a woman's like breeding.
Oh
site.
yeah. So there's
sacred sites.
There's you know areas that you know are strictly for men's business. There's areas that are for women's business. You know, law, LORE.
Yeah, that's kind of so Aboriginal is like the original person, whatever. That their lore is actually their law.
First Nations people.
Yeah, First Nations people. Sorry, I know.
Yeah.
So it's their law, and we respect their land. You'd like, and you can't go to like a place that like. I don't know. They could be like a place where they had people buried, or it's a woman's like if you're infertile, you can go and touch a rock, and this rock will get you fertile. Is this right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's they have an absolute spiritual connection to the land. I mean, this is what everything's built around for law and culture, is built around that connectivity to the land. And you know, when they're teaching young men and they go out to law, a lot is to do, obviously, with the hunting and everything else. But it's to continue that culture and to teach them the ways, but also the spiritual connection to the ground and to the area.
Yeah.
And
so you've got a good relationship with these people, like Mitch. Yes. I'll tell you what. If I tried my hardest to hate Mitch, I don't think I could. Like the guy is unhateable. Like he is. Trust me, there's a lot of people. I've been in prison, man. There's a lot of people I could easily stab. I don't, man. Mitch is one of those guys that everybody loves. Everybody loves Mitch. I've never seen him like turn somebody down. He's got a big heart. He works with NDIS, which is the handicapped people here, and the SDA. He's been building houses for them and placing them in houses. He's got a business called Verity Group, where they house, where they help people with disabilities house. So when I tell you, that he has a good relationship with these people. There's a good reason for it because good people have good hearts. He's obviously let me in here, which I can understand. He's let Diago in here, which I don't understand because Diago's a straight weirdo. But
Hey,
but yeah, he's let some interesting characters in, and he's helped us. Like, I mean, we've needed help. We needed a podcast room, and I don't exactly know his motivation behind it, but he's let us do what we've done to this room, and thank you, Mitch. Actually, thank you.
Oh, look, it certainly cuts both ways. You know, it's like people are people, and there's good characters and stories, life. You know, everyone just because your acquaintances, a lot of have met on the inside.
Yeah.
You know, the stories and the backstories.
Yeah.
And now the stories moving forward are so much more valuable. You know, you can't be defined by one moment. And, with getting back to the Indigenous side of things, we all know there's issues and problems. And for me, the two things that really help any situation like that is a sense of purpose. And this comes about, by sport and work. If you have discipline and you're working, if you can get the cool kids to work and they start getting a car and showing other people that you can do this, then the other kids will follow. And sport does that as well. And they're two.
Well, and this is key to the Aboriginals.
Absolutely.
Because they love their sport, don't they?
Love their sport, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, you'll generally get the talented kids, the guys that do well.
Yeah.
The role models. This is why the football players, and the sportsmen are so important. Basketball players, Paddy Mills and this sort of thing. They give a direct role model and something to do, so the kids will emulate it.
Yeah.
But when you particularly team sports, you've got to turn up, and gives you a bit of self-discipline and gets that going, and work can do exactly the same thing.
All right. So this is where we're at. Like Mitch is able to. I mean, he's been on with the traditional owners. I've seen him myself get contracts and and help people understand how it can benefit you guys both ways. He helps with the disabled. Hopefully, I'm not one of them, but there's a good chance I might be.
That's how you got the job, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's my bad. Wait, things are just starting to click right now. It's not good. But what are you laughing?
The pennies drop.
Hey, what have you? Oh, Mitch, I just figured it out. Oh, no. So, but what we'd like to do here on Crimes and Misunderstandings is it's a redemption song. We're not here to glorify your crimes and stuff like that. We're here to hear your life story, where you've come from, and now, you've gotten an art degree, you've got a job prospecting gold, you've got a partner and 2 kids, we're selling art. To the public out there, hit him up on Cypher, SYPHER, Perth, on Facebook. Look for his artwork. I'm sure he'll sell you some gold. What do you call it? What kind of gold is this?
Dior gold.
This is Dior gold. I'm sure he'll sell it to you at bullion prices because. But get in touch with Clarky. He'll go gold hunting for you, paint you a commission painting. I think that's about it. But it's a redemption song because he's done with crime. He's got his family. He's working hard. He's painting. He's out hunting for gold, and well, we're proud of you, Clarky. Just don't break anybody else out of jail. Unless I go there. But just make it a little more sophisticated than the last time. So
I got a mate at Westpac who he's going to give me some money. Do you mind going over and collecting that for me?
he drives a big white truck with thick doors.
Does it have the A on it?
Yeah. So, Clarky, why don't we just give you why don't you just tell the audience where they can contact you, what you're doing, and anything they can help you with, in your future ventures. like through your art, whatever you're selling. You can tell me about your commission art, whatever. Just look at the camera and tell them.
Yeah, I sort of do commissions, stuff like that. If anybody has anything that they want to be painted, portraits, I sort of specialise in background, street art and graffiti. In saying that, I sort of do everything as well. I do cubism, I've had to learn all these different styles, studying my degree in fine art. So, and I mean, all my marks have been distinctions and high distinctions. So, I mean, in saying that, all these different styles of art like cubism, or street art, graffiti, realism, whatever, I've pretty much nailed at a sort of high end.
Yeah. You painted murals, right? I mean, you can be commissioned to paint a mural.
So I done a mural on a driveway just recently for the owner of McLennan's Furniture.
Yep.
He does a lot of office furniture. It's always on TV and stuff like that. Yeah, Peter McLennan. He was a good bloke to work for. Yeah, I sort of enjoyed that job.
Yep. Yeah. So if somebody wanted to hire you for a mural, let's say like a large mural on a large building, you available?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. If you need somebody to help you, man, I'll be your sidekick. According to Mitch, man, I might have to have somebody else supervise.
But then, I mean, obviously with sort of bigger scale stuff, I mean, it costs a lot of money just in materials. So.
But that's what we're here for. We're not here for the small stuff, baby.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, like,
listen, guys,
people can't go get.
We'll take the small stuff, but we want to go big. We want to go big. If you've got a skyscraper, if you want to help a guy get on the right track, somebody that's talented and worked hard to get back on his feet, to come away from crime, who has an interesting story. Cough up the cash. Let's make some money. Let's put it on your wall. Let's let the world know that you're helping people make a comeback.
I mean, in saying that, I was the first prisoner in Australia to be approved to use spray cans to do a mural. So.
But that was for inhaling, wasn't it?
No. I haven't been charged for that yet. All right.
Get rid of that chrome around your nose.
All right, well, we've got to wrap this up. Diago's telling me that we've gone too long. I disagree, Diago, but who am I to disagree with? Mitch is also giving me the finger. These old people are violent, so you got to kind of just bow to their will, especially when they've done a lot for you. Thank you, Clarky, for coming in.
I appreciate it.
Crimes, Misunderstandings. Hit the like and subscribe, and we'll be back again next time. See ya.